my channel. My name's Maddie and this is Kitty Stitch. It's a place where I like to talk about cross stitch and all the other things that I like to make. This will be a little bit of a different video here today. I'm actually going to take you guys along on a finishing weekend. I have a little bit of time this weekend where I would like to get some of my projects that I've finished stitching actually to a displayable place. So with that, I'm going to take you guys along on a trip to Hobby Lobby, maybe some other places too, depending on what we find at Hobby Lobby. I have gone through already and measured all of my projects. So I have all of the dimensions here ready to go. I'm going to bring my project roll along with me, just so I can double check measurements, make sure that things are going to fit. And yeah, the frames are gonna match and I'm gonna be happy with it. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 projects I'm planning on framing. And again, this is not all gonna get done this weekend by any means. But I just like to bring everything I have and prepare for everything I have in case I find something. I have a couple other things on my list for Hobby Lobby that I'd like to pick up as well. One of which being maybe some fabric for my to go with my Liberty fabric that I have. I would love to make a quilt out of this, so I'm just kind of thinking of something neutral to just kind of very well complement these beautiful fabrics that I picked up from Liberty of London. And yeah, figured it'd be fun to take you guys along with me and see what we can actually get done in a weekend. Get off my stuff. All right. Look out. Phew. Luckily for my dog, she gets to come because Hobby Lobby lets dogs go. Okay, so we're back at my kitchen table here. We went to Hobby Lobby, brought the dog, so she loved that. Everyone thought she was so cute. I didn't really find any frames that I was like super obsessed with as far as like off the shelf frames. I did pick up, or I guess order 2 custom frames. So one was for Turkish Delight. I'm really happy with it. I knew that this was something I wanted to get a custom frame for in person because I just wanted it to see the colors with it, and I knew I wanted like something blue or green to pull from the colors in the piece. And I am super happy with it, so I'll insert a photo of the frame that I got for Turkish Delight. And then I also got a frame for What Remains by Blackbird Designs. That is this, I have it right here actually for this one. I knew I wanted like a colored frame for this, like a blue or a green. And the frame that I ended up getting for this, I was going back and forth between whether I wanted to get it for Turkish Delight or not. And I decided to go ahead and get it for What Remains. And I am super happy with both of them. I'm glad that I got them in store compared to trying to do it online and match colors there. I just am never happy with what I end up getting online if I'm going for something like a very specific color. So I'll show you guys pictures of both of those. Outside of that, I really didn't get anything. We got some some Christmas stuff. But luckily, I did have a frame that I picked up from the 127 yard sale. It looks like this. And I am thinking that this piece, I believe this is called Springtime Florals by Robin Pickens. And I think that's gonna fit perfectly in there, and I like the look of it. So we'll go ahead and frame this up. I did luckily pick up some mat board from Hobby Lobby because I was out. So I'm a little bit nervous to crack this open because it is really, really in there. Tom Allen Friendly Critters. Sorry, Tom. We are busting into this friendly critter. So yeah, I think I paid maybe $1 for this. It's listed at $2, but I remembered paying less than that. So yeah, I'm excited to put this to use and get this piece framed up. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, and I'll show you too. I did pick out some fabrics for some of the non-framed pieces I'm planning. So we can look at those here as well. This one did not need any fabric, so I didn't pick any out for that. This I stitched forever ago for an ornament. This is by Hands On Design, I believe. That window behind me is not gonna be doing good for this. But this, I think all of them except one were fabrics that I got from my Creative Reuse store. This is just a nice vine pattern. This I have left over as a scrap from something that I thought would be very cute with my Midsummer Stitch small. So those will go great together. This is the Valentine's Tiny Town, which I picked this super cute bud fabric to go underneath. Next one is Needleworker House, which I'm going to put with this floral. And another Tiny Town, the Anytown Tiny Town, with this fabric. I feel like these go really well together. So we'll start with cracking open this frame and I guess seeing what we got going on in there. Well, great. That was way easier than I expected. I just used my box cutter to like slice around the piece of paper that was backing this and popped it right out. So here we go. Now we have a frame. And luckily the little hook didn't even come off, so that's still on there. Unfortunately, all of the little metal pieces that hold it in did come off. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there as far as how we are actually going to make that stay in the frame. But we have the frame. I also used the piece of glass. I don't think I'll finish this one with the glass in it, but I do like to use the glass to make a template or use it as a template to cut my mat board out that I will wrap the piece around. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the mat board and get this piece ironed, and I'll be back with you when I start lacing it on. Okay, so I have everything really ready to go at this point to begin lacing. I used my piece of glass that came in the frame to cut out a piece of mat board that will fit perfectly inside the frame. And then I went ahead and covered it with some batting. I like to adhere mine with this E6000 spray. I've had this for forever. And I just spray a little bit on here and stick the batting on, and then use my rotary cutter to cut around the edges so that it's flush there. And I went ahead and ironed my piece. So this is Springtime Florals by Robin Pickens Designs. I stitched it with the called for DMC, and I did use one of the called for fancy flosses, the light blue. And it is on the called for fabric, which is 32 count kiwi. So now we're ready to start lacing. Ultimately, all my finishing is a best efforts basis. I would much rather have some of this stuff done and like ready to enjoy in my home than perfect. So with that, I really just kind of like to eyeball making sure that I have this set up around the mat board evenly, because once you start lacing, you do have there's some adjustments that you can make as well. To do my lacing, I use an outdoor thread because it's very, very sturdy. This is just outdoor Clarks & Coats or Coats and Clark's. And I got this when Joann's was going out of business, and it is bright blue, but it doesn't matter. So I just like to pull out, you know, a couple feet of this. This is not going to be a lacing tutorial because I'm not the best at it, and there are a lot of great tutorials out there. So, and I am just gonna start lacing here. Okay, so once I have the one side completely laced, I don't go right ahead and tighten it. I like to just start by measuring my margin and just kind of seeing where I'm at, seeing what adjustments need, just really seeing what kind of adjustments need to be made before I actually start tightening up that lacing. So let's take a look how we're doing here. What I think can be really helpful too is if you actually pop it into your frame, just kind of see where things are at, how they're looking. I am happy with the top and bottom here, so I'm gonna pull those tight one more time and then start lacing up the sides of the piece, and then we'll be cooking right along. So let's do that. Laced along the front and the back. I'm gonna measure some of these margins out and pop it in the frame, see what we think, and we can go from there. And lovely, there we have it. The first piece of the weekend is finished. We'll take that. I am gonna have to figure out how to actually hold this in there because I'm like pushing it. The back isn't actually, because there's none of those little point things in there. But yeah, first piece done, woohoo! Okay guys, we are back. It is now Sunday morning. So yesterday I did finish the framed piece, which is great. And then we had a soccer game yesterday evening, which was so much fun. I'll insert a clip. We had a great time and they won the game. So that was good. And now it's Sunday and I'm back here at the kitchen table with the pets. So today I'm going to try to get a couple things finished. First being a Tiny Town scissor spool finish. So I've already gone through, I was watching, Elizabeth Ann has a tutorial for how she finishes it. I'm gonna do mainly what she did, but slightly different. So my spool, oh my God. Hey, leave him alone, Darla. So I'm gonna do basically what she did, just slightly different to accommodate for my spool. So my spool that I have, I got at Stitch North, and it is actually like the perfect size to where I don't have any room to do the cute little buttons like she did on hers. So what I'm gonna use is Velcro on mine instead and make a little flap that can then Velcro down. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have the pieces cut out. So I cut out my stitched piece, my backing piece. I need to go through and cut out attach the Velcro to the backing, and then cut out the little pieces that will stick out across the top. So let's do that now. Okay, well, we have a scissor spool. It's not perfect by any means, but from the front it looks really, really cute. We're not gonna go any further than that because the bag is really bad. But it's okay. I'm gonna need to figure out how to do the rest of these differently because I don't like how this turned out with the Velcro, and I might just have to get a different scissor spool because I just wish it was a little wider so that it would fit better. But that's okay. I do have one done, which is great, and I will face it with the back facing away from me and put my scissors in there. So I was planning on finishing the Valentine's Day one today as well, but after that I don't want to finish another one the same way, so we're not going to do that. That's on the back burner for now. So I think next I'll stitch together, got quite a mess going on here. First, probably clean up the mess. And then I will put together a couple pillows so that I can take those upstairs and stuff them. So we will do the needle worker house pillow and we'll make this one a pillow, the Midsummer Stitch one. And I think I want this one to be like on mat board. So maybe we'll just stitch those two together, and then I'll grab the instructions for this little strawberry and see what we need to do about getting that put together as well. So yeah, let's get these turned into pillows. So the way I like to do my pillow finishes is by just sewing right sides together, sewing completely around the piece, and then cutting a small hole in the back to turn it. So I have them both stitched all the way around with right sides together. Now the scary part, just pull apart just enough to separate those two fabrics, and then you want to cut just through the back lining portion and just do just a little snip. That way then you can get your scissors in there and open that hole up. I really try to make it just as big as it needs to be, just so that I don't have a huge thing to cover up there in the back. So for this one, this small pillow, I mean, it's probably like an inch slit. And then I'm able to just turn it right sides out. I like to bring it over to the iron and give it a good press too. So we'll go ahead and flip this one. Ta-da. And go through and poke your corners out good. This I feel like gives me better corners than, and doesn't leave it wonky at the bottom when you have to stitch it up. And I like to print out cute little patches on iron-on fabric to cover that hole in the back once I hand stitch it up once it's stuffed, and then cover that hole up with a cute little iron-on patch that I can put my name on. So I'll show you guys a little later like what exactly I use and how I do that. We have two pillow forms. They're not forms, I guess the form's what's going inside. Pillow sleeves for these two pieces. So that was super quick and easy. We're starting to lose out on daylight very quickly here, so it might get a little harder to film. But next up I could do the tomato, or I could stitch together my pumpkin house by Hello from Liz Matthew, both of which I am intimidated to do. So I don't know which one I could possibly do. There's my pumpkin house. Maybe I'll watch a couple videos on how to stitch this together and see what the best method is there. So I'm gonna do a little research and then I'll be back with you guys. All right, y'all, as you can tell, I'm back upstairs in my usual spot. Ignore the messes. I've been doing a lot of other making fabrics and yarns, and yeah, so you'll see that on my next regular update. But I did want to do just a little recap for this video. I had intentions on maybe getting some other stuff finished that just did not work out for my plans for the weekend, but it was still a productive weekend. So I was able to get framed Springtime Florals by Robin Pickens. It looks great. I have decided I want to spray paint this frame pink to match the piece a little better. And then I did a really bad job finishing my Tiny Town Looks great from the front, but not on the back. Oops. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna do some brainstorming there. And then I sewed together 2 pillows. So there's what those 2 are looking like, and cut holes in the back so they are ready to be stuffed. What I did want to do before finishing up this video was show you guys what I use to patch those holes in the back. So this is just called Iron-On Quick Fuse Fabric Sheets for Printers. This is what it looks like, and it comes with a bunch of sheets of like basically fabric paper that you can print images onto and then iron directly onto the back. So I like to just whip stitch the back of the pillow together once it's been stuffed. And then I love to go onto Pinterest and search either like gift tags or digital frames to then have a cute little thing to put my name on with a Sharpie after I print this out. So those have been really fun, and I thought I would share that with you guys. These are relatively affordable. This says $37, but I know I did not pay $37 for this. I'll link down to Amazon a link to get something similar to this, and I'll also link my Pinterest board where I've saved a couple cute frames to give you guys ideas on things that you could use to finish the back of your pillows too. But this will be the end of the video. It is very clearly too dark to film after work based off of this lighting that I have going on here. So I'm gonna have to figure out a lighting situation moving forward that won't reflect on my glasses too. It's just show you guys some things because it gets dark at 5 o'clock now. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I had so much fun bringing you along for a little weekend of finishing. Wish I got more done, but I think that is the case for all of us with our crafting. And yeah, see you guys in my next regular update. Bye.